All right. Monterey Bay knives, the Sprocket, McGinnis design. What more do you want? What more could you possibly want in your life? Oh, I know. Hold on. Yes. There's Linus and Brian. Linus was here visiting for 8 days. Brian, his son, still back in Sweden. And now Linus is gone. So had a good time with him here. Oh, hold on. Before we get into the knife. There he is. There's the fool. Took him to a Mexican restaurant. I go, what kind of food do you like to eat? Like seal flipper or herring or what is that? You know, stuff you guys eat. Lutefisk. And of course, he's like, stop it. So took him to Mexican. And I said, because I knew I had this once before. It's called the burro. This is La Olla Mexican Cantina. And that is a single burrito. Come on, man. Hold on. So I was making fun of him for that on my favorite knives, you know, video I did. I was talking about this. He ate the whole thing. It's like the Alka-Seltzer commercial from the 60s. When he got done, it's like, I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Looks good, though. Damn, you get hungry, you start looking at that, you go, wow. Whew, baby. So he's got to go home and go on a diet. It was crazy. We got knives. The Sprocket, Monterey Bay. This is Pass Around Group. I don't own these knives. So there you go. They came in this pouch with a microfiber cloth, everything. But we got to get one of both. So heavily stone-washed blade. Right here. Nice. Full titanium. Not a half and half here. Oh, by the way, says McGinnis. Young guy, too. Last I saw was a bio on CRKT. I saw him do a little blurb for the collaborative knife he was doing with CRKT, and he's like 20, 21 years old. Engineering student, North Carolina, I believe. I'll give you the link to his Instagram, his webpage for his, you know, he's a custom knife maker, okay? And then to, of course, the link to Monterey Bay Knives. So you can go and get sprocketized. Get your sprocket, and to put a sprocket in your pocket, well, there you go, right here. And only a measly $225. Which, you know, his customs go from $600 to $1,800 to $2,800 to, I mean, I looked somewhere, I think I saw one up as much as $3,000. So there you go. You got that. And not quite 8 inches, 3.5-inch blade, 4mm thickness. These are made in China, so this is one 4.3 ounces you can afford. I like to talk about affordability. There's your flipper tab. It's jimped. Holes in the front scale, so aspirated version, I guess, if you want to call it that. Titanium pocket clip. Titanium back spacer. Nice. Good action on it. Hold on. Get out of the way. I think I'm the last one in the group to get these, so they ought to be broke in by now, maybe. There you go. Centered, no blade play, no lock rock. You know, 2 1/4, Chinese-made knife. You know, what do you think? M390, but you get a McGinnis design. So, you know, that's, you know, you look at Sharp by Design, the Evo Typhoon, what was that, $375? So this is definitely less expensive. So I think this is about, do you like the design? One thing, they didn't billboard it up, okay? They got the Monterey Bay Knives, you know, moniker on here. Other than that, it kind of looks like a heavy bead blast on the scales, don't you think? And I was looking at these screws, and this screw and this screw, you look at the back side, usually you see a cap, head screw, both sides, but here, no. So there you go. Just one's from here and here. I'm going to take this one apart. I'm the last guy in the chain, so what the hell? I don't think I'm going to injure it. And if I do, then I guess I'll just have to keep it. Never mind. No, I won't. I won't. Interesting. Nice blade design. Almost, I know it's a drop point, but it's kind of reminiscent to me of a little bit of a kind of a buoy with a swedge ground here, but it's got a slight recurve here as well. And then this choil for going forward, thumb ramp that's jimped, so that makes sense. See what I'm saying? Now, looking at the fact that I don't see a blade stop here makes me think it's internal, and I guess that's why we're going to look inside. We'll check the bearings out while we're there. But yeah, and there's your lockup. 25 to 30%. Not really a pass-through per se here, but it is jimped, and it's not difficult to disengage. So that's not difficult. So this is a pretty easy knife to function with as far as that's concerned. And like I said, it's not real heavy. It's not real long either. We'll do a little size comparison here. 4.32 ounces and 122 grams. Let's weigh this one. This is going to be less. So 96.6 grams. Way less, isn't it? Wow. 3.4 to 4.2 or 4.3. Almost an ounce lighter, and you can feel that. You can feel that. I just don't do the half and half myself. I just can't do that myself. It just creeps me out. But I mean, there's a lot of people this doesn't bother. So if you like the presentation side to be carbon fiber, I don't mind carbon fiber if they did it both sides with a liner lock or an axis lock or a back lock, then yes. Or a bolster lock. So, but no, this doesn't turn me on. But there's a lot of people, they have no issue with that. And so this is definitely an ounce lighter worth looking into if you're looking for something really light. Let me see if I got something for size comparison around here. There's my Para 3. And it's smaller. Definitely smaller. How about the Shaman? Well, I think we got competition now. Yes, we do. So let's take the tape. You already know the dimensions, so I guess we're being a bit redundant here, but let's do it anyhow. 3.5 inches, 90 millimeters overall. That looks like 8 inches. That doesn't look like 7 3/4, does it to you? That's what they're saying, but maybe my tape is wrong, my eyes are wrong, and I got 20, not quite 20 and a half centimeters, between 20 and 20 and a half centimeters overall. So good. Both knives are nice. I like the design. Check it out. You know, this disappears into the bolster. That's nice. Look at the blade, okay? Pull this out of here. Okay, did they use the available space? Yeah, I think they did really well doing that as well. Fit and finish is really good, first rate. I don't know who made this knife in China. I asked Blade Banner, he didn't know, and he had asked, and I don't know that they responded. So I don't know. I thought maybe We Knives made it, or Best Tech, or somebody who was OEMing, but I don't know. Flipper tab. I keep coming back to flipper tabs, but that's a lot, isn't it? That's a big old hoss. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be this far front to back. It could be way less. It could be canted forward a little bit, and it could be shorter, which I'd prefer. Here's one I got recently. I'm going, holy smokes. You see what I'm saying? And this works fine. So, yeah, let me see if I can find something else. Here's another one. See, I mean, that's not too bad. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a huge bluff right out in the middle of Badlands, isn't it? There you go. So it also, affects, let me see if I got something around here. Well, I mean, it also affects the contact patch as well. And another thing about recurve, you got style points. Yes, you do. But then again, it's not as easy to sharpen. You got to have a ceramic rod or diamond rod or something like that to get in there and do that. So that presents that little extra. But the action's great. Let me see if I can give you an impression of the detent. Okay, I can get it out. So it's definitely not a 6. Yeah, I can snap it. Yeah, but it's not easy to. So I'd give it a solid 5.3 on my scale. And it's not easy to fail. Let me see if I can fail it. It's the detent's really appropriate, I think. I wouldn't want it lighter. I wouldn't want it harder. I think it's right in the Goldilocks zone there for detent. So let me get this under here. Sorry, I haven't put this here as well. Let's get this up here. You can take a look at the carbon fiber. I think Blade Banner and I were kind of texting back and forth, and he was saying the only thing he had kind of as a bitch is you can see the carbon fiber chamfers off here, but it does from the inside. They kind of give it a little machining here, so it comes to a point. Okay? It comes to a point where on this side it's rounded, but this side it's kind of at a point, which makes it a little edgy. I find that to be not really much of a concern, but it's just an FYI. It kind of comes to a point. So it's not as round and smooth necessarily, but that doesn't really concern me so much, but it was just an observation that he made. Otherwise, I mean, it's nice. It's not edgy. It's no raw edges. Well done there. So these are knives that I think are nice to have on the market because they're so affordable compared to his custom knives. Now, I mean, is the hardware anything all that special? Any fancy machining? You even just take, a normal kind of machine, but it's not. And these are not even like socket head type, machined looking screws either. And that would be nice. But hey, no different than the Shaman, right? Okay, so it is what it is. Ergos. Ergos are okay. I thought, wow, these ergos will be really nice. Look at that. That's not bad. But this little hump, it's one of those things where this hump should have been a little further forward for me. Because my finger here, now if I had much bigger hands, this would be great. This would be my first finger. But no, my middle finger's hitting right in the middle of that. So I wouldn't call this the Ergo King as far as my hand goes. When you start doing these things, you start putting kind of that extra little barrier in that can cause issues with different hand sizes. So think sometimes you're better off staying more generic. Maybe take the hump out or move it a little bit more forward. But here I'm hitting it right in the middle. So no, not as good, but all my fingers fit on there. So that's fine. I'm not going to bitch and moan too much. I find it to be just a very kind of plain, not pretentious, but elegant design. See? Not bad at all. Pretty lightweight. How's it balanced? Ooh, we got to get back here. So there we are. There's where my balance point is on this knife. But goes in and out of the pocket. You can see that pocket clip. That's not a problem. Machined. 2 screws hold it in place. Nice, you got a lanyard hole. So good, easy carry, especially this one being even an ounce lighter. So definitely probably moves the balance point way up closer here. It does. It does. It moves it real right up against this flipper tab. This one, because of the weight, I'm back. See? That gap there for your balance point. So that's the difference between that. Comes in a pouch and a microfiber cloth. And the pouch actually has 2 pockets. Not that you're going to get 2 knives. You got to choose. Okay, I checked the screws. These are number 6s. This is a number 8. No access on the back side here. So we're going to disassemble this from the front. It's kind of nice if you can get number 8s all the way around, but you still got the one still holding out with the number 6s. Problem is, you know, your number 6 Torx, these can get boogered up a lot easier than a number 8. You can end up wallering these screws out too easier. So I kind of like it when they go with number 8s, but it's not the end of the world. So here we go. And woo, baby, that's all the way, isn't it? Well, we saw it on the back that it was going all the way through. And here we go. Are they the same length? Yeah, they look it. Now, number 8 on the pivot. And oh, brother. Okay. Okay, we're going to take this one apart because this one was Loctited in there, and this is not my knife. This is a pass around. So, no, I'm not going to do any little tricks to try and pop this loose because I might damage the titanium. But I tried the carbon fiber one, and yes, this one actually did come. So it means it's a round pivot. It's not D-shaped, and it's going to spin. So if you put too much thread locker in there, good luck, buddy, because you'll have to go through some contortions, and I don't like what I have to do to try and break those loose. It can be a real bear cat. So now let's just take this one apart. Wow, man, learning experience. I just don't like to push my luck, and I definitely don't if it's a knife I don't own. So there we go. 1 screw, 2 screws. Come on, I know you're done. There you go. And that screws out of there. And I thought we had you all undone, son. Now we do now. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, we got it apart. We got the carbon fiber. Looks pretty good, and it's solid carbon fiber all the way through. Here's where you put your hardened or your steel washer, and of course that's your blade stop here. That also goes into your titanium here. So this goes through that track, internal, through the blade, and that's your stop. And then of course you have your pin from the backside. And as you can see, no, it's not a D-shaped pivot, and that becomes a problem. And here we go. It became a problem on the titanium one, so could go through all kinds of hell on that. And I think I'm going to just throw this puppy right back together, but you can see, is there anything else that's of all that big a deal here? Lanyard hole, screws coming in from the pocket clip on the back side, hardened steel insert, ceramic detent ball, and of course these are ceramic bearings. Bingo bango. Here you go. And I'm going to put the stop right back in here where it was. Seat that down. And I'm going to stick this back together. It's not my knife, and I'd probably have no business doing any other things to it. So I'm going to just leave it alone, but I just wanted to get into it and take a look. Obviously, this washer goes on top because it's going to set in here. And of course, that little pin is going to go right where this hole is. This is kind of a two-handed assembly here. I got to try and keep the screws from falling out the front, but the back spacer from falling off, and put this whole rigmarole together. So it becomes a little bit more of a challenge. But it's doable. Here we go. And this, let's get this part at least started. And then, of course, our number 6 is engaged through the entire knife, which I'm not so sure I'm thrilled with that. I could have built it up from the back side, but I didn't. So, well, I did build it up from the back side. I built it up from the back side. Maybe I could have done it front side and laid it down. So there you go. And we're way off center, but I didn't give it much here. I wanted to keep it pretty easy. And that's probably just about right. Yeah, I don't want to give it too much. Let's see if we're engaged. Yeah, there's no blade play. It's centered. So that worked. Like a champ, huh? Nice. Great action. Probably a little bit nicer than what before I started, actually. Even though I didn't put any oil in there to restrict its drop. We could argue about that, but yeah, there you go. Nice. Yeah, really good. So there you go, Monterey Bay Knives, Sprocket. The Sprocket was on my docket, and now we got done with it. Hope you guys, this at least gave you some insight to the Sprocket, so it'll help you know more about it if you're trying to decide whether to buy one. There you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.